Hello, today we are going to take a look at the another Zello slash network radio. This is the Inrico T198. This is a quite interesting unit, and I've decided to actually keep it as my daily driver because it fit all my requirements and I really like it. This is something in between of the Inrico T199 and the Inrico T192. If you are going for a Motorola look, then this is absolutely the closest match. But this one is definitely like in the middle, I would say. The Inrico T199, I had some issue with the volume knob that do not have enough of friction, and I've got problem that on my belt it just changing the volume, and sometimes it turn itself so low. Then I've got problem of hearing the person who was calling me, and I was like, nope, that's not going to happen. And it is like in the size, it's more lightweight, it is a smaller one. Here you can see I do not have a belt clip, and yeah, it is a much more smaller. For that I would recommend you carrying a Motorola holster. That's why I do not have the belt clip. But with this one, I'm carrying it like it is and on my belt, and I'm using the remote microphone. And we are going to talk about that in a second. With all of these network radios, the main thing is they are working very similar. There is nothing like in the technology, because they are using like a same LTE, or in that case 3G radio. There is nothing that they are changing in between that making them better or worse in terms of a range, because all of them have like the same company ready 3G or LTE modem that is on board, and they are basically exactly the same. They are that company is not making the module, they are buying this, putting inside, and it's just a Android phone. Why I've decided to go for radios without a screen? That's because I had a couple problem with different units that was dedicated for use with like a Hytera software, and they've got a problem that after disabling the Hytera dedicated push to talk, it didn't work with a screen that is basically off. The PTT was stopping working, and they had a problem that. So I decided to go with a unit that is completely screenless, and it can have basically any application, whether it's going to be a Zello or the Pro PTT. You can have it like constantly in the foreground, and you are not going to waste energy on the screen. The PTT will be like a constantly working, because the application is like, if you connect this with a cable, the Zello is on the foreground. You are going to constantly see the Zello icon, and your application will be like constantly active. Zello is started to going into like the commercial segment, and this is more like a business radio where you do not have to find your friends. You are using this like a channelized system with a dispatch or other calling channels, and Zello work with this perfectly. And here you can see this knob for selecting channel.
O20PZ.
It's working perfectly, and it's reading me back the channel that I've got programmed, and I've got free channel. I've got 3 channels. I've got the echo.
O20PZ.
I've got 1 private channel, and I've got a dispatch.
O1 base. O203 echo.
That's because I'm daily checking my radio. I'm daily doing a radio check to make sure that the radio is working properly, the speaker microphone is okay, or when I go into like a building in the basement and I'm wondering, do I have a range from the cell tower, I go to channel 3, I make a sound check, and let's make it right now. 1 2 3 4 5 radio check. 1 2 3 4 5 radio check. And the audio quality is superb. It is extremely nice, and with all Inrico units I cannot tell a bad word about that. The audio is crystal clear. And we are going to the microphone. On my other video you can see how I make it. This is a genuine Motorola speaker microphone, but I replace the cable, the Kenwood style cable, from a replica. So the microphone, the speaker is genuine, the cable is not. And on the cheapest from the AliExpress, the cheapest speaker microphone, I've got problem with the audio quality, and I was not happy, and that's why I made this modification. Let's take a look at the visual side. If you take a look at the Inrico T199 or the T192, you are going to notice that you've got a longer antenna, and purely from a visual aspect, I much more like the longer one, because it looks like a UHF radio. I turn down the Inrico T199 and the antenna is connected to the board, so it is a 100% real. It's not a joke. We've got a standard SMA thread, and you can screw from the Inrico T199 and it's going to fit. They've got the same frequencies, so if you would like to have a shorter one, you can buy from the Inrico T199. We've got the channel knob, we've got the status indicator, which is great because you know that the radio is working and it's power on. If you are transmitting, it's changing to red, and when it's receiving, it go for a solid green. And when it's receiving, it go for a solid green. This is the volume adjustment knob, and as you can see, we are at the low end, and it's very loud. It have a very good friction. This is something that is very important if you've got like a jacket and it's rubbing, because I had a problem on the different units that it can turn itself down or sometimes off. The side connector is using the Kenwood standard generic type, so you can buy a lot of accessories. I very enjoy, this is like the best side cover that I ever seen, and I've got this problem even with a very high quality Motorola radios that looks like this. And if you are going to carry this radio on your belt with a jacket on, it's going to be constantly rubbing this. And I've got honestly situation that after one day a brand new radio can have this torn away just from doing this in the 8-day shift. So here they really make a magic, and it can go like this, and it's definitely making a less rubbing. Someone think, just imagine that you've got this, you plug it, you've got it like this standing. So no, you can go like this. Definitely improve. Why I like this over the Inrico T199. T199 have a USB, micro USB port for programming. This one doesn't have. And this is a good option if you would like to share this radio, because other people won't be tempted to just plug in and see what's going on, because to program then you just need a computer, and you don't want that in some applications. So for my case, I was happy that they do not allow easy access. There is a micro USB at the bottom, but it is actually on a battery, and it is for recharging. So just in case you forget your charger, or I go into the field for a couple days, then I just need a standard micro USB cable and you can recharge it. So that's a very good point. The battery, as you can see, the belt clip is on the back. It's not on the battery like on the T192. Here's integrated. Here is a part of the radio. It's not on the battery. For some application this is good, for other is bad, because if you turn it, then you've got a problem. If you got it broken here, you just replace the battery. The PTT is very nice. It's not as good as on Motorola radios. Here they have like the best, absolutely the best type of PTT that I love. But for like at least 2 weeks that I'm carrying, I never had accidental PTT from my belt. It is little bit of resist. That part have this very good thing that it does not press by itself. Not sure if you can see this. There is a gap. If you touch it into some surface, it's not going to press itself. So it is pretty good. And this is the overall look. It looks really nice. We can take a look. Let's try to PTT with the speaker mic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 radio check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 radio check. And as you can hear, it's working perfectly. Here you can loop a lanyard for your hand. What's the good thing? The good thing is the battery is exactly the same as on Inrico T199. So if you would like to have like a second battery, then you can buy from the all accessories, including the charging station. They are exactly the same as on Inrico T199. Here you can see they've got even the same model number. The charging station, I do not like it, just because it is not heavy enough to be lifted by itself. I've got a plan to just glue it to the desk, but of course I will do that after making videos because I wanted to show you them. But you can easily buy a second one from the AliExpress. Inrico T198, they both fit exactly the same, so getting a spare battery or a charger is not a problem. This is the box. Here is the model number. As you can see, this is WCDMA. Also, it came with Inrico software, but it was quite easy to disable via the ADB command line. In the box we've got a charger, the lanyard, and nothing else, the user manual. But it is like a very generic stuff that, yeah, maybe if you are absolutely first time seeing this, here are some specs. The closest compare, because I like to compare this stuff to the other unit that I've got, because on the picture on the AliExpress everything is looking cool, it's looking nice, and yeah, this is one of the reasons why I enjoy this flap, because you can cover it very easily, just in case you are in the field and you change your outfit and you want to get rid of the speaker mic. It is quite easy, and it's quite easy to swap. The Inrico T192 it's got the Motorola style, but it's not compatible with a genuine Motorola mic, so it will be a much bigger problem to rewire than on this Kenwood type, which is very cheap. The closest match I found is the Hytera. This is a PMR TC446S, and it have a pretty similar like the PTT feel. That's how they looks like. And let me turn it off, because I would like to show you the chassis of this radio, and it looks absolutely amazing metal, just like on a real radio. So we've got a really good build quality. It's a very nice unit. Let's power it back on and compare across other stuff. So it is a smaller one. Here you can see compared to the DMR Motorola. This is the 8000 series. The older one, DP.
Searching network.
Here you can see that it's telling you that it's searching for network, and after some while you are going to hear the Zello. Here you can see the compare, and yeah, it's looking pretty decent. Here against the DP2400, pretty similar size. Maybe the holster would fit. That might be worth of checking in. So as you can see, the build quality is really nice. You've got that commercial radio feel, maybe not a public safety. Here against something modern. Take a look at that one. We've got a extended battery, and yeah, this is how it presents. So if you stack them against commercial grade stuff, it doesn't stand out as something cheap and something from cheap China. So here you've got the Inrico T198, the quick look. I'm very happy with this unit, and I'm going to stay with it with my self-made microphone. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you find that interesting. See you next time and bye bye.